All right, going live in three, two, one. Well, this is totally random with Katie. We're up to episode number 8. How you doing this afternoon, Katie?
I'm doing good.
Well, we got a few people standing by already. Ivan saying hi, Zoom. Linda Hanway saying I'm not sure at Linda. Sorry, Linda, I don't speak that. So I hope it's
That's so
positive.
weird. Do you like? I wonder sometimes if they have to draw out like that whole symbol if they're like writing a paper. Like that would
Hmm.
be so intense.
Yeah, I
That's
I
so detailed.
so I've never thought about that before. I'm sure if you wrote a language, you'd be maybe they're saying the same thing about what we say too. I don't know.
Right. Like that's so complicated. Like that would take me like hours to write a paper if I had to write something like that.
Let's see. We got Angel Linnies saying hola back. Desenhoff play 3.0 back again saying hi, and Xavier also saying hello. So hello to everybody. So before we go too far, though, I want to make sure that if you want to support what we're doing here, we have the affiliate link in the description for NordVPN. So if you were to buy that service, or if you were to consider getting it, it would help us in getting and or I should say funding what we're doing here. So NordVPN, I've used it in the past, and I do recommend it. It worked very well for what I needed to get done, and it does hide your location if you're trying to hide your location from certain parts of the world, or if you're just want to. Several people have told me this, that you can actually watch TV shows. Maybe you've said this too, Katie. I don't remember, but you can watch TV shows from other parts of the world where you're blocked out. So things like that. And the one thing I always like to say is, whenever I was using Facebook, I don't log into Facebook because I don't want Facebook data mining my information. So I would use it to hide my location from them. So I don't think I should have to do that, but unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Right.
So
I wonder then, like, if you went to the events page, like to see events in your area, if you wouldn't get events in your area. But what's interesting is, like, I know on your phone, I don't know if you can you get this service on your phone?
yes, you can. Yes.
Because like I know on Facebook events on like phone, like it'll only say the location I'm in, but sometimes I want to see like if there's an event going on in like wherever I'm traveling to like that weekend or something. But I can't because Facebook will only let me see like the events, at least on my phone. I feel like I can only do this like in that area. So it might be cool like if you can put your VPN as like Florida or whatever, wherever you're gonna go. So then you can see what events are actually happening when you're gonna be there and not just the location you're in.
It might. I can tell you this. I can't say with absolute certainty that it does, but I can say if you go to Google, like google.com, do a general search, Google will come up in the language for the area that you're in. So if you say you're in India, it'll come up with the language that they use in India. In China, they'll use China. I don't know about China, but I've tried India before. And I've tried at least one or two other countries, and Google definitely came up in that language that whatever country I was in, which is kind of cool. So,
That's cool.
so Facebook, don't they call themselves Meta now or something?
Yeah, Metaverse or yeah, they changed their name. I still say Facebook. I mean, I don't really hear many people saying I'm logging on Metaverse or message me on Metaverse. I think people are still using Facebook,
Uh-huh.
but at least people I know.
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, I even said Facebook myself. That's so I'm just curious. I keep on hearing that, but I never hear anyone say it yet. So,
Yeah, it'll probably take a while to catch on.
see, Xavier, can you do a diagram of a light bulb? I'm not sure what that means. Uh, we got more people saying hi. Okay, we can get rid of those. Okay. So- okay, thanks everybody for the comments. So how are things going in the world of Katie right now? Anything our viewers would like to know?
Um, I've just been researching 2022 trends. Now that
Oh,
we're in a new year, I gotta know what's the year of the tiger is coming up, February
yes.
1st.
I think we discussed
Um,
that last week too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So before we go too far, how about we jump into our question from last week, see what kind of responses we got. So
Snow.
about our snow. And by the way, the snow disappeared from here, but it's still pretty cold. They threatened us with the weather service threatened us with a winter storm warning on Thursday or Friday of last week, and we ended up getting like a little bit of rain and nothing else. So it was like a big scare for nothing. So,
I
but
know a lot of people were out of school here, and I'm like, oh, are they out of school because of COVID? And they're like, no, like the weather. And I'm like, what? It's not even snowing. Like, we rarely got snow days, so it's crazy.
mhm. And after that, the temperatures did drop. So today we're just barely making above freezing. So we're getting bitter cold temperature. Well, I don't know bitter cold, but cold enough anyway. Very cold. So let me bring up our questions. I got both of them here. Let's see. Do you like the snow? With 57% saying yes, I love the snow.
Oh
15,
wow.
14% with hell no. Actually, I jumped there. So it'd be actually 16%. It doesn't snow where I'm located. Then to 14% with hell no. 8% says I like the snow, but I don't like driving in it, and 4% with I don't care either way. Okay.
I would have thought I don't like the snow, but I don't like driving in it. I feel like that would have been higher.
Hmm.
But
The
maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just saying maybe maybe they read the first one first. The 57% one. I like the snow or love the snow, and maybe they didn't realize that one was below it first. Maybe they didn't pre-read it all the way through. So sometimes that does happen. I see comments below where they say that. So, but yeah, I do agree. I know a lot of people in certain areas just don't like driving in the snow. I know I'm not. I'd actually like driving in the snow as long as it's the right kind of vehicle. So I don't want. If a car is big enough and heavy enough and it can maintain it, I actually love driving in the snow. So, but the getting to the comments, I don't know if I told you this before, but um, YouTube has an issue with the comments not showing up. So sometimes it'll say it has 14 comments. Okay, there might be 14 comments there, but sometimes they're hidden. So in order to get the ones that are on hidden to show, the ones that are hidden to show up, you have to go to newest first. Even though I do that anyway. So if someone's on there and you say we don't see your comments, it's because YouTube has just basically glitching out or something. So, and as long as I go newest first, usually they all show up. So
Always refresh.
yeah. So and even the refresh. Well, if I don't know what it is, but if you have top comments, some of them just don't show up. I don't know why that is. So all right. So oh yes, I totally love the snow. Big hearts. Okay. That's Daniel Rogers. I like the snow. Thumbs up. Says I can't get what that is, but I don't like shoveling it. Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, shoveling's a pain. I
Yes.
forgot about that.
Let's see. Stop your nonsense questions. Okay. Well, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good question. So let's see. Let's see what the response says. So it says selling. He's selling the data to the Chinese for sure. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. Go to the next one. It says, if it wasn't for driving or walking, any other transport complication that comes from snow, I would be fine with it. Overall, it's my second least favorite season. Okay. Funny you ask. It's snowing now or snowing.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Okay, thank you. So, I like snow, hate ice. Okay, I can agree
Yeah.
with that. I don't hate snow. I hate ice. It hasn't snowed yet. It's supposed to snow tomorrow here in Ohio, and I'm excited. Okay.
Ooh.
So it says something in Spanish. I think it's Spanish. So Renegade MS says everyone is miserable with the snow, not me, and 3 thumbs up. So I think I'm not miserable with the snow. So so in Indonesia, I can't read that one. Sorry. In Indonesia, I'm living right now, and right now there's no snow. Um, he's living now. We're living right now. Okay, I guess that.
He's probably living in Indonesia.
Okay, I got you. Okay, just the way he's worded it, kind of odd. And yeah, I live in Canada, and it's freezing here, and I'm full of snow. That was from Jay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I agree. I think this one should probably would have been a little higher, maybe. I would agree, but overall, what do you think about that one?
I'm surprised that so many people like snow, but I guess like I don't mind snow. Like it's pretty and stuff. I just don't like what driving in it when it turns to ice. That's when I don't like snow.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like if I'm just sitting at home and it's a weekend and it's snowing, I'm like, oh, it's pretty. Like just be gone by Monday when I have to drive in it. Um,
So
but
let's look at our other question here. We had a question: do you like to eat the snow? Or have you, I'm sorry, proper way was have you ever eaten snow? So and so you mix it with anything. Go over here. Okay, 65% with yes, 20% with no way. 10% no, but I'd like to try it, and 5% with yes, but never again. So,
Really not liked it.
so I see. I can't read the name. Let me me 1 second. I should have brought this up earlier.
A magnifier.
Yes, there you go. Uh, Ox. I don't know what that name is. Sorry. I ate snow like 10 years ago. Okay. Let's see. Frank Miranda says, I do, but it's not as satisfying as drinking actual water. Okay.
I don't think you're drinking the snow.
If,
I mean, maybe.
if you put it in your mouth and melts, it becomes snow of water. I mean, so now this is a regular viewer. She's been on my channel for a lot. I mispronounced her name. I don't want to mispronounce it again. So I don't know. I'm not going to say it, but she's been on my channel for several years, and she always leaves comments. And the one time I tried to pronounce her name, she was watching and the show, and she got upset. And I didn't want to upset her, so I'm not going to pronounce her name because I know I'm going to butcher it again. So sorry, but never eaten it, but I've seen people get arrested with something with it sometimes. It's still on their faces.
What?
I don't know what that means. Why would you get arrested for having snow in your? Not sure what that means.
Maybe they like, yeah, had it on their face or threw a snowball. I don't know.
Maybe. I do know when I was a kid, we used to throw snowballs at cars. Once in a while, a car would stop and say they were going to call the police on us, but that was about it. So.
I got a detention. My first ever detention I got was from throwing a snowball. I think it was in like first grade, and I just like threw it at someone, and they're like, detention. And I was so mad about it.
Really? Did you hit anybody?
Probably. I was probably throwing it at someone, and that's why I got one. But I was just like, isn't snowballs bites a thing? Like, I didn't know we were going to get in trouble for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean, I, I don't know. That seems kind of. I mean, unless it was something like it was like they could tell you're like being really vicious or something. I mean, what would be the probably like you packed it full of
right.
rocks or something, you know?
No, it was just like a little throw. I mean, it obviously traumatized me to that point that I remember that I got a detention for throwing snow. But
But did you get detention? How long did your detention last? Was it like a
I think it was
couple
just like the lunch hour. Like we just had to, instead of going outside for recess, we had to sit in this like little room and
hours?
just sit there for lunch.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let's see, the banana 69 years ago says, I don't know if ice cream counts. Nope.
No.
No, it does not. Sorry. Corn Pop says snow sucks. Uh,
Oh,
Ederson
no.
Eric says, I've never seen snow. Oh, with 9 replies. I don't know if I should go through all of them. Oh, a whole bunch of people saying same, not same. Why? Oh. Just going back and forth. So, um, Maximilian something Campos says just no. Another response is just yes. Oh, big Papa Jersh says mixed with R. Kelly's bed sheets. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure. Um, Norbert 11 says my favorite snow flavor is yellow,
Gross.
and that's not a flavor color. It's a joke. Okay, yeah, so and finally, I've ate snow, but I have not tried to mix anything with it. Okay,
Mm.
so I before we go any further, I had created a third question just for fun, and it's kind of funny because it falls in line with one of the comments that we had there. I'll bring it up here because it was actually on my other channel. Here we go. I said, "Have you ever eaten yellow snow?" So
Yeah.
so 65%, how many 429 votes, 65% with hell yeah, 20% with yuck no, see 7% with I like making yellow snow, 4% with I prefer brown snow, and that ties with 4% with I love eating yellow snow, but I don't tell anyone. So, so let's see, who is let's see, me who live in tropical country, and yellow snow is dog pee. Okay. So,
Yeah. That doesn't sound great. I don't want to know who's the people that are drinking or eating the yellow snow.
yes,
What does that taste like?
I don't even want to think about that. So, I don't want to get too gross, but I do. There was a guy I used to work with, and he would, well, he would drink something that came from his body, and it was
Oh.
basically, and it was he would publicly state it over and over and over again. So he had
I
no
mean, does
problem.
it have health benefits? Like, what is the purpose of that?
He seemed to think there was something healthy about it. So,
Mm.
and the one thing I do remember was he had left and he came back, and there was some sort of stipulation that he wasn't allowed to talk about it when he came back. So, um, the uh,
Oh.
the people at the office did not want that discussion going on anytime, anywhere. So, and
There
I
was a funny. Oh, say go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was done. Go ahead.
Actually, going off of that, I saw a funny TikTok yesterday where this woman, this is like, I guess, like a joke trick to do. She like peed in a cup and she went to her husband to like see how well her husband listens to her and put it down next to him on the, he was like working on the computer, and she put it down next to him by the computer and was like, don't drink this. Whatever you do, don't drink it. And like she just walks away. And he just like looks at it and like picks it up and takes a drink out of it and makes this disgusting face and like puts it back down. And she's like, and he's like, what was that? And then she's like, wait, did you drink it? And then she's like, I told you not to drink it. And she's like, that I'm taking to the doctor. And he was just like, what? I don't know if it was real or fake, but the look on his face when he took a drink of that, I was just like, that's what you got to do to get to see if people are actually listening to you, I guess. Set down a glass right in front of him and say, don't do
There's
it.
a Cheech and Chong movie where they do something very similar. So they're driving it a bit.
Oh,
I don't know if
okay.
you've ever seen any Cheech and Chong movies, but
I've heard of it, but maybe.
they're driving in a van, and one of them he has to go take a drug test. So got his sister to pee in a cup for him. He would have his sister's pee when he went to have the drug test taken, so they could prove that he wasn't taking any drugs because he actually was.
Yeah.
And when they're in the van, the Cheech and Chong are very much, the movies anyway, are very much about taking drugs. So he tricks I think it was Chong, he tricked Cheech into snorting some what looked like cocaine, but it was actually just soap. So, and then he gives him the pee to wash his mouth out.
Oh no. Oh, gross.
So it's a pretty funny scene in the movie. So if you like Cheech and Chong, it's one of it's you'll like that scene. So.
Is that a movie or is that a TV show?
It's one of their movies. They made probably about 5 movies, I think, altogether. So I think it was their second movie. Their second movie is called Cheech and Chong's Next Movie. So
Okay.
um, the first one was called Up in Smoke, and then the next one was Next Movie. And then after that, I don't remember the actual names. But it was, if you like that kind of humor, that's it would be it's they used to do a stand-up routine back in the 70s, and then they eventually went to movies, and they basically made their stand-up routine become what they did in their stand-up routine in the movies. They actually acted it out.
Okay.
So anyway, so going back to, have you ever eaten snow? The 65%. So how do you feel about this?
I would say I would feel like that would be pretty accurate. What do you think?
If I was a kid, yeah. If I was a kid, as an adult, I would say, if it was an adult, I'd say no. So
I mean, they've eaten snow in their life. I feel like everyone has probably at least tried it, whether they got like a whole bowl of it or like just tasted some.
I'm wondering now if there's any kind of maybe, like, it would have to be eaten pretty quickly, I would assume. But if there's some sort of recipe you can do with snow, like you mix it together really quickly and eat it up or something, and mix it with some things. So
Maybe. I feel like it would
I'm,
melt. I can't imagine like putting Cheerios in with snow. That'd be gross.
like I said, you have to do it, but you have to eat it while you're outside, I guess, because you couldn't really bring it inside because it'd melt too quickly. So,
Maybe like fruit.
hmm, yeah. So, alrighty. So you said you had some trends, or you want to talk about trends for what for the new year before we went to our question?
Sure.
Wait, but hold on. Yeah, did you want to ask a new question? Yeah, before we do that.
Oh, well, we could talk about should we talk about the trends first and then ask the question?
Yeah, if it flows with it. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not doing a good segue into this, so I guess you could try to. How would you introduce our segment here?
Um, Trends of 2022. I don't know. I was just kind of researching. Like I follow different sites, I guess, that like just give information. And I found over like the past week, people are like rolling out the new trends of 2022 as we're like almost into the second month of 2022. So just kind of like what to expect and what's in store for us coming soon. So I think I was telling you a little bit earlier. I don't know if we talked about this first when I found out that the color of the year, like Pantone's color of the year, is like berry peri. It's like a periwinkle color.
Oh no, 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 I don't know. Yeah, good. No, I don't even know what that. Go ahead, describe that. I don't even know what that is.
Well, so like Pantone every year, like they're like the color chart. They come out with like a color of the year, what they think is going to be really popular. And I forget what it was in 2021. I remember looking it up at one point. But in 2022, it's very peri, which is basically like this periwinkle color. And like now I've been seeing kind of like articles roll out. Like I found out this before it was 2022 that that was going to be the color of the year, probably like a couple months ago. And I just saw like an article yesterday saying that if you're actually looking to like have a relaxation, like a bed, like your bedroom, you want it to be like a purple color. Like they found like purples are more calming. And if you can't do purple or you don't want to do purple, you could do more of like a blue. But definitely don't do green in a bedroom because it's more like energy and like I'm guessing like awake, like it's more energetic.
Hmm.
Um,
Is
very peri, like BERYPERI. I think that's how they're spelling it.
E-R?
Like berry, like the word berry
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a B.
I'm sorry, B-E-R. It's B-E-R-Y. Does
Yeah.
that have it spelled right there? B-E-R-Y?
B like as in Victor.
Oh, V. Oh, okay. Kept on hearing V. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Very berry. Oh, okay. Okay, very berry. Sorry. There we go. Okay.
Perry. So yeah, more of like this like peri. I would say it's like a periwinkle, like a light gray purple. Um, so I don't know if we're gonna be seeing a lot of stuff coming out this color,
Yeah,
like
did
fabrics
you say
or
something about describe? Did you say like for a bedroom or something to like?
yeah, so they're saying like purples. I don't know if it's specifically this color, but just purples in general are more relaxing to like the mind and the body. So they're saying if you are having trouble sleeping, to maybe paint like a wall or like your bedroom a color like this, like a purple, to help
Okay.
be more calm.
I had that's kind of a dark, relatively speaking, that's kind of a dark color for a room.
Yeah,
I
so I'd say like a wall, like an accent wall.
Okay. Okay. I've tried one time I went to what like one of the local hardware stores and I got a darker norm and a darker than normal paint. And when I got back and I started to paint, I realized it was just too, it wasn't even dark, but it was just because it wasn't a light color, it just made the room look really odd. So I had to go
Mhm.
back and get a lighter color, just go back with that instead. So I imagine if you painted I know you said just like maybe a single wall. If you painted like even part of a wall, it would look probably really, it would probably really stand out. So if anyone walked into your room, they would see that immediately, you know?
Yeah. And like I had something like that in one of my bedrooms once. Like I did a red wall and I do feel like it was dark. It's interesting, like when you have like lighter walls, the room just feels more open and like bigger. But then once you start putting dark colors on, because I painted my room like all pink once, but it was like a hot pink. It was like dark pink. And I felt like the room felt so much smaller, even though like it wasn't. It was just because but then also I feel like when you have a darker color, you kind of feel more like homey and like it's like a room where I feel like when something's like white, like my apartment right now is like all like this like white color. Like it just feels very open. It doesn't really feel very homey because it's just white.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
I rented a room in a house and I painted the room. I went from white, then I tried to make it like an orange color, and that's when I realized it was too dark, and I had to immediately not use that. But then I decided to go with beige, and the beige gave
mhm.
it it had still the open feeling like you're saying, but then it also gave it more of a warmth to that the white didn't have, which made it feel
Right.
more pleasant. So the white can make it feel like I don't. I'm looking at the wall behind you, so
Mhm.
It's hard to tell, but it might, if you had a beige on there, it might make it a little bit full, a little bit, like I said, a little bit more warmth to that. I'm not sure. So,
Yeah, and I think apartments and stuff do like these plain colors just because it looks cleaner or like nicer or something, like richer maybe. I don't know.
right.
But because I feel like some colors that you add, like, yeah, they're pretty, but they can maybe make it look a little cheap.
Mm.
Um, I
I
guess it depends on the color.
Right. When I went to visit my grandparents when I was a kid, one of my youngest uncle on my dad's side, he was an artist, so he painted he painted one of the rooms like almost like a color like this, if I remember, like a purple, like you're showing here.
Mhm.
And he had like a night. It was parts of it were light purple, dark purple, and he had stars. It was really eerie. So, but it was neat. It was different for sure. But it was every time we walked into this one room, it was like super. It was like he was painting the sky, the night sky on the walls and the ceiling.
Oh
So
wow, that's kind of
uh,
cool.
it was it was completely different. But it was so. It's I've never seen anyone else. I've never seen a room do that before. So I do know my best friend one time he wanted to paint a room black. um, I don't know if he ever did that, but that was years ago. And I can't. I'm not sure what a black room would look like. I'm kind of. I guess I don't know.
I feel like I thought about that once and I like looked up pictures, but I feel like it just feels very small and like dark. I
Fair
guess if
enough.
you have like a lot of lights like that or like a lot of windows like that second picture that like lets light in, you don't feel like you're in so much of a cave. But or oh, that's just a wall. I thought that was a window.
Yeah,
Um
there's some windows right there, like that.
yeah, like then I feel like you can make it more classy. I think it also depends on like what you're working with, like the architecture. Because
Hmm.
like yeah, like that looks okay. But if you just have like a room with no windows or like very small windows and have it all black, I feel like it would feel very closed off. And
Hmm.
like black like absorbs negative energy, but it also is like I feel like negative in a way.
Oh, that's interesting. The reason I say is because black is one of my favorite colors. So like I like black cars, black cats. So that's why my avatar is my black cat. So um, and my other favorite color would be dark green. So when I was a kid, it was just green in general, but now as I've gotten older, I don't like general green. It has to be a darker green. So those would be my two favorite colors.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. As far as black, I will say if you go into a recording studio, well, you've worked, obviously you've been in radio. I mean, you're going to see walls that are obviously different colors too. So um, I know an actual recording studio where you record bands and everything, you're going to see usually something that's more not really black, but something similar to what's on the ceiling here. You might see something like
Mhm.
that. So, and that gives you a kind of a nice warmth feeling when you're going to record. Of course, you also have the absorption of the sound, which takes away the sound, so you not have the echoes. So that also takes away some of the ambience that's in there as well. So, yeah. Okay, so so what else is what other trends are there for 2022?
2022. I saw like the food trends are going to be, let me bring it up. It's like 90s food. So like 90s foods that are Instagrammable, like or like TikTokable, social mediable. Basically they said Instagrammable snacks. So if you remember I don't know if you've ever had everything bagel seasoning. I actually have some in my cabinet that I need to buy more of.
Mm,
Um, but things like fluffernutter sandwiches. Do you ever have that, like the peanut butter and marshmallow fluff sandwiches? Those were like my favorite.
no, it sounds familiar though. It sounds very familiar. I will say I typed in 1990s food, I
Yeah.
and this thing popped up, Hot Pockets, and I remember eating those a lot, not because I liked them, but because I was like working at different radio stations and I had a part-time job, and I'd just stop at the whatever a gas station that had. That was the easiest thing to grab real quick and stuff it in the microwave. And I got sick of them after a while, but
Yeah, they're not that good. Like I feel like I bought a Hot Pocket, like a better for you version Hot Pocket a while ago because I was just like, ooh, a Hot Pocket. And I was like, why did I buy this? And I feel like I paid like $8 for two Hot Pockets too. Um,
it was something that that tied me over, but yeah, definitely not something I'd
yeah.
want to eat on a regular basis. So
Just like bagel bites, that's on this list too. And I was like, bagel bites were never good.
Bagel
that
bite.
I remember.
Is it on? Is it on? Is it on your list? It must. I don't see it on here, so it
Yeah,
must be.
it's on this list that of like 90s foods, like pizza bagels. They don't necessarily say bagel bites, but like pizza bagels, like people would put pizza sauce on bagels and like cheese and make their own kind of like pizza bagel. I feel
You
like
can
I don't know if people still do that.
you can bring your image up over there. Could you do that? You can what you're
I
looking
don't
at.
have an image, it's just a list.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So I'm just curious. I'll type in bagel bites just for the heck of it. There is
Oh
that
yeah.
it?
Yeah, they just had like a I thought there was some type of some girl was trying to like sue them or something because she said that it wasn't like real cheese or something on the bagel bites, but it's like you're not getting a pizza, it's a bagel bite. So, um I don't know, but
Yeah.
I don't remember them. I mean, I haven't had them in years, so maybe they're good, but
I honestly I remember these dating all the way back to like 1988. So these have been around for a while. So yeah, I'm not a yeah, I don't I yeah, I haven't I don't remember them tasting that good or whatever. So I don't know.
if you just want like mini pizzas and don't want to get a whole pizza, I guess. And then corn dogs was on the list. I feel like people still eat corn dogs, but I feel like that was definitely like in a phase with like the pizza rolls, pizza bagels.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't seen those in a while. I never really I don't think I've even tried it. Are they any good? I know I remember
Corn
seeing them.
dog? You've never had a corn dog?
No, never had a corn dog. No.
What? I like the breading on corn dogs. It's like a corn, kind of like it's like a corn breading, like cornbready. It doesn't taste like cornbread, but it's more like corn tasting. And then they
Huh.
just put a hot dog inside. I can't believe you've never had a corn dog.
I've seen
You
them. I
must have
don't
at least had a corn dog.
where do you even get them at? I was like I would say like maybe one of those vendors you see on the street somewhere or something like oh
Yeah, I mean, you can get frozen ones, but I feel like the best place to get a corn dog, I mean, I don't eat meat anymore, but like at a fair, they're like because they do like the hand dipped corn dogs, so they'll actually like dip it in front of you and then stick it in the fryer and give it to you like hot. Those are probably one of the best corn dogs you could probably get. The frozen stuff's okay, but if you can get an actual corn dog at like a fair or like a food truck,
okay. Well the
that's
you know what they call those food trucks, right? Uh roach coaches. We're
oh
notorious for having lots of roaches. So be very careful when you buy from those.
yeah.
I used
Tacos
to
out of a taco
tacos what? I'm sorry
tacos
you
out of
cut
a
off.
taco truck are some of the best tacos. Yeah.
I'm sorry you cut off again. I'm sorry. You tacos say it again.
Oh, tacos out of a taco truck are some of the best tacos.
Oh, okay. Best tacos. There you go. That's what I missed before. Okay. Interesting. I've never had a taco out of a taco truck. I did used to buy uh hot dogs. I do remember when I was just out of high school and I was working at a place and the guy would come by every day and stop right in front of the place and just say hot dogs, chili dogs, and we'd come out and everyone would
Mhm.
buy something from him. And so and then when I was going to school, I was working in the city a lot. So what I would do is I would see the little corner store the vendors on the stores. I mean not stores, but on the streets, I mean the vendors with their little trucks. And that's I'd buy from them a lot. So
Mhm.
but I don't remember tacos. I really don't. That's interesting. Maybe they were there and I just didn't notice them. Maybe it's because I wasn't really interested. So
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you have to try a corn dog at least once in your life. At least try one at some point.
yeah, yeah. So it's basically I never knew. So it's basically looking at the opening here. So it's like you said, it's a bread. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a corn breading. It's like so it's crunchier and like harder on the outside, but it has the taste of almost like cornbread, but it's not as like fluffy as cornbread because it's obviously like like the batter must be like some type of corn flour or pancake flour or something like that. But some type of corn flour because it definitely you can taste that like corny taste because it's a corn dog. So they dip it in this batter. They dip the hot dog in the batter, and then it's like usually fried.
Hmm. Okay. It's I like I said, I've seen
Definitely healthy, but
yeah, yeah. I've seen them. I just haven't seen them on I just haven't seen them on a regular basis, I guess. I I
well,
I would try now that you said I probably would try one just for the heck of it, but I just never to be honest, I never knew what they really were. So that's probably why I just didn't want to get them. So,
just hot dog deep fried in corn batter, basically.
yeah. So what else is on the list of yours?
Um, Sunny D. Do you remember like Sunny D, like the high C juice boxes, Sunny D?
Yeah, I remember. I don't think I ever got it though. Sunny D, is that it? Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I never drank that. Was that very, I remember I remember being around. Was it actually pretty popular back then? Back in the, but this is making a comeback here, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're saying not necessarily like this specific brand, but I think just in general, like something similar, or maybe these brands will come back out with something new, because it's been
I
22 years or 30 years. Um, I don't know. Sunny D, it's like an orange flavored drink. So like not orange juice, but orange, like an artificial orange juice.
okay. Yeah.
There might be actual orange juice in it or oranges, but
Did we ever discuss juicy juice before?
oh, I used to always want juicy juice or like the Kool-Aid pouches, but my mom would never buy them.
Really? That's interesting. My mom always got juicy juice because she was I don't know if it's correct or not. She said it was all 100% juice. So because
Yeah,
of that,
juicy. Yeah.
but the Kool-Aid though, yeah, we want to get that once in a while. We got that, not very often though. So
Yeah. We would get the juicy juice. Yeah, you're right. That was 100% juice. That was like the only one she would buy. That and like maybe some like weird brand that was 100% juice. But yeah, we got like Kool-Aid jammers like once a year.
Kool-Aid jammers. What is that?
That was like
Kool-Aid.
the Kool-Aid ones. They were like Kool-Aid juice boxes. Everyone had them at school. And like those and the ones that were like in the little bottles, like the squeeze bottles of Kool-Aid, I always wanted those.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I forgot
Interesting.
about Kool-Aid. Now I want Kool-Aid.
I I remember that I remember these kind of drinks being out there with the little packs and a little straw. And I think I might have
Mhm.
had one once in a while, but nothing on a regular basis. I think other companies made them similar, didn't they? It wasn't just Kool-Aid that did this.
Yeah, what was that other brand? It was like, well, there's like High C. Oh, Capri Sun. Those they also made pouches. We'd occasionally get those because I think they had less sugar than Kool-Aid. But yeah, the pouches were cool.
Pouch. Let's just type that in. Pouch. Let's see. There we go. Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
those were
yeah.
okay. Not as good as Kool-Aid. That's because of all the sugar they pack into Kool-Aid.
Oh. So I remember Kool-Aid being like kind of not as I don't it was okay, but like something was missing from Kool-Aid. It was like too much. Maybe we made it with too much water when I was a kid. So I don't
Yeah, I
know.
feel like sometimes that stuff needs like a little bit of lemon or a little bit of like tang in order to like make it not so sweet and just like have an actual like good taste. Because I bet
Mhm.
you now, like I think about Kool-Aid and I'm like, oh, I really want Kool-Aid, and I'll make it and be like, my God, I can't even drink this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So before we go too far, did you want to ask our question so we don't so that we don't yeah, I mean I assume you want to do we want to do something based on what the current trends are. Something how would we phrase it? What would you like to ask?
what do you think? We could either do like what color is your bedroom? We could go off of that, or we could do something like what was your favorite 90s food? And we can put like a couple options.
Okay. We could do I would do both. We could do two separate questions like we did before. So, what color is your bedroom? Hmm.
So we could do like white,
White, yeah, yeah, white. Let's see. Pink. Well, if I bet you pink would be a popular one for sure.
pink, blue.
Blue,
Popular. We got to add the purple.
purple. You think purple would be popular? Really?
Well, it's the color of the year. We got to add it.
Oh,
And
I
maybe,
guess. Go ahead.
oh no, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say maybe your choice. Like they could pick the final one could be their choice,
Yeah.
unless you had another color you want to add there.
No.
Okay.
Well,
Oops. Leave a comment. There we go. All right. So white, pink, blue. So and as far as yeah, it looks good. So does that look good?
yeah.
All right. So I'll post that one. That's a quick question. All right. And then this next one is what I'm sorry, what was it again? I'm sorry.
What is your favorite 90s food?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. That's gonna be that would be a little what is your favorite 90s food? Oh yeah. Okay. I can so I'll go off our list there. What would you what's the I
So
don't
you
know
can
what
just
would be go ahead. You're
see how
breaking
many people have tried corn dogs.
corn dog
Oh, corn dogs. I was gonna say, do we have corn dogs?
corn dogs, yes.
We could do like pizza bagels / pizza rolls. I
Okay.
think they're like in the family.
And also, I
Yeah,
apologize. Whenever you talk, sometimes my voice it cuts you off, so I apologize for that when we're talking back and forth here. So,
it's okay.
pizza rolls. I never thought of pizza bagels as being like a '90s thing. That's interesting. So, okay.
The fluffernutter sandwiches.
Oh, I know how to pronounce. Okay, we have to look the spelling up for that one. How's it?
It's yeah, FLUFFER,
Okay, well, just like it sounds. Okay.
and then nutter, and that I think is one word.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, well, and here it is.
Cool.
Um,
I'll keep the end uppercase though, just so it looks good. So
okay, and then yeah, sandwiches.
sandwiches. Okay, gotcha.
Um, and then if you want, can you think of anything, or we
That's
can
what
just put
I'm
in.
trying to think because the '90s. For me, it'd be different. Like you were much younger, obviously, so you would look at it from like a child's perspective. I was a young adult, so the uh, for me, I was more concerned with I wasn't going with the trends. You probably knew the trends a little bit better than I did. So for me, the '80s would probably be my era for like the trendy food. For you, this would be more your era, I would think, because I wouldn't really go along with the trends so much by that time in my life. So I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
Well, we could do hot pockets.
Hot pockets, okay, okay. Oops. Okay, and I guess the last one, your choice again.
Sure.
Okay. That was quick. Those are really quick.
Yeah.
Usually questions take a little bit longer for that. Okay. So corn dogs, pizza bagels, pizza rolls, fluffernutter sandwiches, hot pockets. Your choice. Leave a comment. So, and did we talk about the fluffernutters? We didn't talk about those, did we?
No, but what have you ever had a fluffernutter sandwich?
Let me hold on a second before we post it. I want to take a look to see what it looks like. I know it. I just don't remember what it looks like. Hold on a
It's
second.
basically just peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, and you slap them together and have a sandwich. I remember the first time I had one was at a friend's house, and I made my mom get this marshmallow fluff, and she was so mad because she was like very like wanted me to eat healthy, and this was obviously not healthy. Um, Although it is just like marshmallow fluff, basically it's just egg whites and sugar.
Oh, there's actually no. I do not remember this. No, I don't remember this at all. Actually, I remember hearing the
Really?
word, but I never tried it. No, never tried it. Definitely not.
It's
Um,
like it's really sweet. I tried making one actually like about a year ago, and I was just like, oh gosh, this is so sweet. But as a kid, it was so good.
oh
But that
wow.
was the same friend that literally just gave me sugar cubes as like a snack. She's like, "Oh, are you hungry?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she'd be like, "Oh," and then just like grab a sugar cube out of the container and give it to me to eat.
Oh yuck. Yuck. That sounds gross. Was it good?
No, I mean, I feel like the first bite was okay, but then I had this huge sugar cube, and I'm like, "Are we supposed to eat this whole thing?" And she's like, "Yeah," just like popping them in her mouth. I'm like, "Okay." Um,
During the '80s and '90s, I would eat a lot of M&M's candies, and
mm,
what you're describing is one time I went into the part of the supermarket where you could get toppings and things for candies, and I bought the miniature M&Ms that were meant to be put on as decorations for cakes. I don't know if I've ever said this before. And instead of being like they didn't taste like M&Ms, they just tasted like sugar, pure sugar, and it was like I was grossed out immediately. So
That's funny you say that because I bought a bag of mini M&Ms like recently, like before the holidays, because I was like, oh, maybe I'll make something with them. But then I was like eating them and I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought these were gonna be like good, but they're just like basically like because they're so tiny, it's just basically that coating and
Yeah.
like hardly any chocolate. It's like
Yeah. I don't even think I finished the rest of them. They were just couldn't tolerate them. So I redo I changed it the way you said it was. So I put I lowercase the n there. So like you had it. So does it look good?
yeah.
Cool. All righty. So we can come back to that. So as far as 90s trends now, were there any clothing things that were coming? Any
Mm.
clothing trends? Now I think you mentioned something about a mullet.
Actually, yeah, and I feel like mullets, so when I read this, I was like, I feel like mullets are kind of always around. I mean, not many people are getting them, but I feel like even this past year, I've seen people with mullets, and because I think like Rihanna got a mullet or something, and like Miley Cyrus just got a mullet a year or so ago. But they said mullets might be making a comeback again, and predicting also goth business casual attire.
Goth business casual. Remember what you guys say there. I when I was 19 years old, I want to talk about mullets. I never had a mullet, but I spent like about 3 weeks on my uncle's farm. I was just, and I was the first time I'd ever lived essentially on my own. I was moved out from my dad's house, so it was just me and my uncle's farm, and they didn't like the way I wore my hair. I tied it back in a ponytail. So they said, "Well, we're gonna take you to this is my uncle and his wife were saying we'd like to take you down to the barber shop so we can get you like one of those modern hairstyles." And they were talking about getting me a mullet. So, and
Wow.
I did not get the mullet. So, but they were like trying to convince me it was a good idea to get a mullet at the time. So, but
And you're like, no way.
no, I didn't want to get one. So I just kept on tying my hair back in a ponytail the way I did it. So,
Funny.
but
Yeah.
what's the expression part? Business in the front, party in the back. So.
Yeah. I think there's like a ton of different like terms you can use for it, but that's like the most common.
Have you ever seen the Mullet Family? I'm sure you've probably seen it. The there's no, I don't know if it's real or not, but there's
Oh,
the Mullet Family, like the pictures like that.
yeah. I mean,
I
I
just,
think it was big at some point.
I remember seeing pictures like this when I was younger. I don't know. I guess they're real. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was the style.
Yeah, this looks real. Yeah, the mullet was very popular. I do remember the mullet was extremely popular back in the late 80s for sure. You'd see them all over the place.
Yeah.
I definitely did not sport a mullet for sure, but my hairstyle was probably dating back, even though I was too young for the time. My hairstyle dated more like the 70s style. So that's why that's why my uncle didn't like it because like I was really outdated looking. So he wanted me to do more contemporary, I guess, for the time. So the as far as what was the other one you said? I'm sorry.
So
The goth was
goth
describe it.
business, goth business casual attire. So yeah, like what is that? It says things like night dresses. So if you're gonna go with clothing, more like night dresses and like checkerboard patterns, kind of like high puff hairstyles, which was kind of like what we were looking at, like with the mullets, tooth gems and like pearls. Like otherwise, if they're not going to be like black, they're thinking more like vibrant, colorful outfits,
Hmm.
and some like Hellenistic jewelry decor from like Greece. So I guess it could go anywhere from like black to vibrant color outfits. I mean, this is just like I'm not predicting this. This is just based off of articles that I read that are predicting the trends based on whatever they're looking at.
I noticed it's all just female, almost all females here. Nothing male, no male
Yeah,
attire.
you
Maybe
gotta
over
type in male goth business attire.
what that looks like. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So it's just I wish actually the male stuff doesn't well what's showing up doesn't look that out there. Not or at least not some of it. Some of it does. But the female attire looks more like it really stands out, like it's really trying to grab attention. Whereas
Mhm.
the male stuff just looks kind of normal actually. I mean it's not too doesn't I wouldn't I like to wear black like I said. I wear black button down shirts, but I wouldn't wear goth. I wouldn't do that. So And
Yeah, like what makes it goth? It must be like the other like accessories you add to it, or if it's like a checkerboard pattern, because they're saying more like jewelry and tooth gems and bedazzled accessories and things like that.
yeah.
I always wanted to bedazzle stuff when I was younger. Maybe 22 will be like the 90s like over again. So like the people born in 2022 or like that were born a little bit ago are gonna like have the 90s experience. And then in like 2044, they're gonna be like, oh, it's like the 2022s.
I do remember when Clinton was elected into office, a whole bunch of 70s fashions came back in really quickly. And
Mm-hmm.
that was very obvious because I didn't like, there were certain 80s fashions I kind of liked, but I wasn't but with the 70s fashions were always more appealing to me. So and then when all of a sudden I noticed like mid 90s, yeah, when he was in office, there was a but some of the 70s fashions I didn't really like. I didn't like they call like clunky heels, like those big things. I don't like those. Those weren't those had disappeared, and I was glad they were gone. But then they made a comeback, and I was like, oh, those look just not really something I was thought were that attractive looking. So, but
Yeah.
um, so yeah, it's the I've not seen what I've not seen come back is the '60s style, like the early '60s, the late '60s. Like there was like a couple of different styles for like bright colors. Like let me see if I can.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
trying to think what that was.
1960s. Uh,
God.
bright color, bright attire. I mean, it really stands out. See if I can see it. Yeah, like this, something like this. So you would see like really bright colors.
Oh yeah, I remember that like neon.
Yeah, and then that died off. That died off
Mm-hmm.
right around 1970. That was just before my time, really. But I do remember watching a lot of shows, and in the early during the '70s, this was like this seemed extremely outdated really quickly. So
Mm-hmm.
but I'd never seen it come back. And also the 50s styles never really came back. It's kind of interesting how the 70s kind of made it come back. And like the 80s, I don't know, was the 80s even I remember the 80s stuff, but some was
Yeah.
just came it didn't really see how about from your perspective, how does the 80s look to you?
I feel like there was a lot of 80s stuff this past year in like 2021. Like a lot of 80s, like a lot of pop artists were doing like kind of like 80s style music. And they were doing kind of like their music videos. They were wearing more like 80s style clothing. So I feel like 80s kind of maybe like we're doing like we were like more the 70s the year before, were the 80s this past year, and now this new if that's the concept that's being looked at. But I do feel like the 80s were kind of redone or like brought back to life in 2021.
Hmm, okay. Okay.
If I'm not wrong,
Okay.
but that's just what I think.
So as far as the new styles, is this something would you find yourself doing the goth business casual?
Um, if I found something I liked, maybe I don't. I like black, but I feel like black washes me out a lot, so I don't really wear a lot of black unless it's like summer. Maybe I'd go down, like I'd get some of that bedazzled stuff, or like I don't know. I guess I just have to see. I definitely don't think I would get a mullet, that's for sure, but I could get some goth business casual stuff.
Yeah,
Although
go ahead. I didn't mean to
I
cut you
was,
off.
now I was just thinking maybe the mullet goes really well with the goth stuff. I don't know.
I don't see too many people. Well, this is women's fashions. I mean, there are women with mullets, but it seems more like a mullet seems like a man's thing. Am I right on that?
I mean, it could be either, but maybe more so.
Yeah. So, anything else for predicting? Now, where are you getting this list, by the way? Is this
So this one's just like there was some website that kind of just had all of them. This actually, oh, well, I clicked on that and it took me to some
good?
news.
OD saying hello, Z Mitchell. Good afternoon. Hello, OD. He's a regular contributor to the show. Thank you very much. So,
Okay, so this I clicked on it and it's clicking Pinterest is like saying that this stuff is going to be popular, but because maybe people are pinning this stuff and like they're probably getting all this data from all these different things people are looking at and like wanting to buy, and like it's maybe just coming together. That's just maybe I don't
so,
know how it works,
so it's not
but
really. There's no real scientific explanation. No. I don't know if the scientific is the right word, but no. Actually, it's just like a random selection, I guess, of people who are saying what's going to be. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's like scientific, but I think it's just a lot of different like sources that people are looking at and kind of like putting together. This might be completely wrong. I mean, it's the beginning of the year, but they're just saying, as of right now, as everything is, as of right now, that's what it's going to be.
Well, I hate to be so boring, but I've been wearing the same style clothing for the past since the 1990s, so I haven't changed my style at all. So I wear black button-down shirts, khaki pants, and that's pretty much all I ever wear. In fact, I'm so boring that what I do is I'll go to I went go to the same website and I ordered the exact same. I'll buy 7 of the exact same shirts.
Well, they
And
still have them.
what's that?
They still have them from like years ago. The same
The-
stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's the Levi's like denim shirts. So
Mm.
they're not Levi still makes them, so it's not too hard, not usually too hard to find. Um, and I do remember every time I've done it, I often get a call from them saying they want to make sure I ordered the right number because they don't understand why I'm buying 7 of the exact same kind of shirt. I was just like, yeah, I just don't really feel like thinking. I just don't feel like I'm just boring in that way. So
I mean, if it works, it works.
yeah, yeah. So, I can't imagine people. Well, at last picture, let me go back to that. I can't imagine people showing up for work like this, though. I mean, if that's, I don't know. This is a little too outlandish, though. Of course.
Yeah, that's more like fantasy, like what is that? Renaissance-y or
Uh,
like yeah,
yeah,
that's more character, I feel like.
yeah. 21 best goth closing best. I can't even say it. 21 best goth closing brands for 2022. It says so.
Mm.
So I'm surprised. I didn't even know goth was still really a thing. I didn't really pay attention to it. When did that even start? Was that like the 90s?
I feel like it kind of was because I feel like a lot of well, so I feel like it went from phases. Because do you remember emo? I feel like it went. I don't know if it was emo first and then goth, or if it was goth and then emo and then scene. But that was like all when I was growing up. Like people were emo and then they were scene, or they were scene and then they were emo. Because there was all those like bands that were out that were doing that type of music. I feel like that was very like 2000s.
Hmm.
Uh,
OD Quebec said black clothes are his favorite as well. So cool.
yeah. I mean,
So yeah, but what's that second word? I'm sorry, pardon my ignorance on this one. Goth, and then you said seam. I'm not familiar with that one.
scene, like SCENE. Like there's a difference between goth, emo, and scene. And I like at the time I remembered it, and now I'm blanking. Like SCENE.
Hmm. You're breaking up a little bit. That's why I paused.
Like a movie scene, just like scene.
Like scene like this. I see
No, like a movie, like SCENE.
SC. I'm sorry.
SEC.
Oh, C C. Okay, okay.
Yeah, ENE or
And
no.
E. I'm sorry. Oh, scene. Oh, is that what you're saying? Oh, S. Is that I'm sorry.
Scene. Yeah, like a movie scene.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Okay, you were
Yeah,
breaking up a lot. I'm sorry. There we go.
it's
Okay.
okay. So yeah, like that
Oh,
was more scene
ah,
look.
okay.
So
Okay.
they had like the short hair in front and like longer. And then I think emo was more, I don't know, we'd have to look up a picture.
Yeah, I'll do it in a second. I was just curious. Was this male and female first
Yeah.
scene? Oh, was
Hmm.
okay. Okay, so we're just getting it. Okay, I'm just curious.
I
Let
think
me.
it was more like scene girls. And then,
Oh, there we go. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Okay, and then the other one. What was the other one we were gonna look up? I'm sorry.
emo, like EMO.
Yeah, emo. That I do know. That I do remember for sure. Oops, I misspelled it. Yeah, I don't remember that one at all, to be honest. So, but yeah, I remember this one. It was mostly like black. But yeah, there
Yeah.
was a there was a movement that took place in the late 80s that took place prior to this all of this, and it was where people were walking around with like German symbols, not Nazi symbols, but like German symbols and crosses and things like that. And I don't know what that was called. It was very popular for a while, and they were wearing black. I think that was kind of the predecessor to this, whatever emo was, and all these other things. So
Yeah. I
it was whatever it was after I graduated from high school, so I wasn't really in touch with what was going on. It was more like a high school thing, and it kind of, like I said, it kind of morphed into whatever with emo and stuff like that. So
mhm.
I wish I knew what it was, but I don't know. It just wasn't. I wasn't really into. I was never into trends to begin with. So Okay. Alrighty. Any other trends or anything that stands out with your list for this?
Not really right now. I have to still gear it up. Maybe I'll get like the type of breed pet cat dog of the year. But no, that's basically all I had was just like the food, the hair, the color, or the style.
Okay. No, when you say cat, are you saying there's going to be trends for pets too?
Well, I don't know. I was just saying that. But people are actually, I was reading the other day that people are wanting to clone their pets. Like if they're like the grumpy cat, like that had passed away, like if their pet isn't an influencer, like these influencers can clone their pets if they have enough money. So then the pets can continue to make money once it dies because they have this clone.
Hmm. Now
So people,
that's interesting because there was a movie that came out with Arnold Schwarzenegger called The Sixth Day, I think it was. I don't know if you've
mhm.
ever seen that, where they did that in the movie. They were actually cloning pets. So like a pet would
Oh,
die, and they would do is they would clone the pet so that they but the difference was the cloned pet they would transfer it was science fiction. They would transfer the memories of the pet into the newer pets so that the newer pet would think it was the older pet. So it acts just like the older one and everything. So
that's so weird though, because like you as the owner would know it's not the
yeah.
original one. So I feel like it would just have this like weird vibe. Like I don't know. I would just feel kind of creeped out.
Well,
But
that was the whole premise of the movie too, because basically what happened in the movie, they cloned Arnold Schwarzenegger, his character, and they gave that character the memories. So the clone thought he was actually that same person. So
yeah.
and so that the whole premise of the movie was him trying to get his life back. So
Mhm.
I won't give away the ending because there's an interesting a twist to the end of the movie. But basically, yeah, it was on a human level. A pet level is weird enough, but on a human level, that would even be weirder. So, uh,
Yeah, that
and
would be weird because you'd remember all this stuff from so long ago, but you'd be like just recently new here. I don't know. It's just a weird concept.
yeah, because during as as the movie progressed, the bad guys were constantly chasing after him, would constantly get killed off, and what they would do is they would instantly clone them and then put their memories in them, so they would remember getting killed from the previous clone. So it was this constant rejuvenation. It was like, but as I'm watching the movie, but, I'm thinking to myself, but they aren't the ones that got killed, but they have the memories of being killed, even though it wasn't them. So it was
Yeah, that would
very,
be terrifying.
yeah. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely an interesting movie. Like I said, it has a nice twist at the end. So if you like that kind of science fiction movie, it would be something. Actually, you like science fiction, so you probably like that.
Mhm.
I won't give too much away in case you ever get a chance to watch it. So, but alrighty. Let's see. I guess we can go check our questions again. Let's see what we got here. Not very much of a response, I'm sure, but we can check. Okay. So, actually, 57. That's not too bad. Pretty quick. And wow, 4 responses too. So what color is your bedroom? White with 74%, 16 with blue, and 11 with your choice. Wow, that was actually pretty quick. She was a little bit more popular today. Gray only because my father doesn't have taste. Let's see. Japan Ball says, oh, let's see. Maybe bring my old magnifier back. Okay. Yeah, 2500 says orange and brown. See, William Saliba says mine is mostly white, but one wall is dark red brown, which I really, that's like you said. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. So, and finally, we have beast mode says moldy. Okay. So, Beast Mode's been leaving questions in the chat. I've been kind of, no, I've been skipping over his comments there because they were kind of political in nature. So I just didn't say anything. So, let's see, go back to our other question. What is your favorite 90s food? Not as much, but still pretty good. Let me see. One response so far. Here we go. 63% with corn dogs, 26 with
Gotta try corn dog.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 26 with pizza dog. I'm sorry, pizza bagels and pizza rolls. 6% with hot pockets. And we got a tie with fluffernutter, yes, fluffernutter sandwiches and your choice. And Norbert 011 says never ate most of these, and actually, he and I are in that same. We're the same, except for the hot pockets. So yeah, I've hardly eaten any of those myself. So same boat.
Not even pizza rolls? I don't
Um,
have all the time.
maybe, but not very many, not very much. I'm trying to remember. I had something that had pizza on it, but like a bagel. So it might have been. It might have
Oh,
been.
was
I
it
don't
like
know.
French bread? I feel like they had those too. It was like French bread and
Oh, you
like,
had those. Yeah, yeah. I did. Yeah, I had those. That was different. But yeah, I used to eat those a lot. So I ate those a lot. So yeah, those I did. But the actual pizza rolls and bagels, I'm not sure. I might have. I might have. So it wasn't something I ate on a regular basis. That's for sure. But yeah, as far as the French bread with the pizza, yeah, I did eat that a lot actually. So what was it just called French bread pizza or something? I don't
I think
remember.
that's what it was called. Yeah.
So
We
oh,
had
and then
that
we
for school lunch a lot, and I feel like it was okay. It wasn't that good.
Yeah. When I was the one thing I used to eat a lot during the 80s, because I told you I'm more of an 80s would be person
Mhm.
would be the something called I think they still make them. Hostess honey buns. Honey buns.
Oh,
Do you
yeah,
ever
we
have?
talked about that at one point. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if we did or not. Yeah. So it was in fact, I love them so much. I might have said this as well, but I love them so much that I would actually buy my friends honey buns when we were at the cafeteria in high school together. I'd say, "Do you want honey buns?" So I'd buy all my friends each a honey bun because I always wanted to share the experience with them. So,
Now I could go for like a actual like cinnamon roll honey bun, like a bakery one, not just like a flat honey bun, but like a big cinnamon roll
hmm.
bun.
I think I've ever had cinnamon with them. That sounds kind of interesting. I'd like to try
Oh, the
that.
cinnamon roll? Have you ever had a cinnamon roll?
Yeah, I've had a cinnamon roll, but not a cinnamon roll honey bun. I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I'm just thinking of like a big cinnamon roll, but instead of cinnamon, like honey and frosting and
I see what you're saying. Okay.
something like that. Sounds
I do
good.
like cinnamon rolls. I do like those. So we got a thing from OD saying, "What is your favorite regional U.S. dessert? Like which pie? Which is your favorite?"
Oh,
Uh,
Mississippi.
and recently, I made a recipe of the Mississippi mud cake. Have you heard of this one? I've never heard of that. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of Mississippi mud pie. I'm guessing it's like the same thing. Maybe it's more of a cake. Is it chocolate? I think it's. I've heard of it. I can't remember what's in it.
Hmm.
Um,
Never heard of it. OD left a comment on another show saying that he's English is not his primary language, so he might have meant the same thing. So
yeah,
he might have translated that incorrectly there. But yeah,
it
I
is.
think
It could be a cake or a pie. It's a chocolate cake with marshmallows and chocolate frosting.
oh, okay. So, what is your favorite? What is your favorite regional U.S. dessert? As far as
Me?
yeah, you, because that's his first question. I'll ask you, and I'll answer after you give yours.
Favorite? Oh gosh, I don't know. Go first. I'm still thinking.
I guess that'd have to be the honey bun.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. After I always eat those after lunch. So yeah, even I haven't had them for a while, but if I could, yeah, I'd probably eat them on a regular basis. So
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say some type of like. I remember really liking dirt cake, and I just brought this up the other day to someone, and they had no idea what dirt cake was, and I was like, "What?" Um,
I don't know
you
what
ever
dirt cake
had dirt
is
cake
either.
with? It's like really? It's like people would have it at parties, and it would be like pudding and whipped cream, and then like the Oreos crushed on top with the gummy worms.
Oh, never
Maybe
heard of it.
that's a 90s thing. um,
Yeah, no, I'm looking right now. I did not mean to interrupt you, but no, I've never seen this before. Wow.
really?
Yeah.
People would usually put it in like little cups like that, like little like jello or like little cups, and then have it for like at birthday parties instead of like cake or something.
Oh, oh.
Um, I don't know if
So
it's my favorite, but I'm
what's
actually oh, go ahead.
no, no, sorry, we came on over talking to you finish and I'll remember what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've been making a lot of cheesecakes recently because I feel like a lot of people here in Kentucky like cheesecakes. And I never really liked cheesecakes, but I don't know if it's just the way I'm making it or what, but I actually really like cheesecake now all of a
Hmm.
sudden.
I
But
I haven't had cheesecake in a while. My question to you was, what are these? maybe you said it right. What are these layers? Each of these layers?
So it's usually like pudding, like a chocolate pudding, and then Oreos, crushed up Oreos, and like I think you mix the pudding with whipped cream. Although I just saw a recipe that they were mixing cream cheese and stuff into it, but I just always thought it was like pudding and whipped cream like mixed together, and then Oreos and then gummy worms on top because it's the dirt.
Oh, you see, my first, when I first heard you say that, my first thought was, oh, it's actually literally dirt cake, and it was like some sort of a joke or something. So,
No,
that's interesting. Now, is this? You said maybe this was a maybe from the '90s because, like I said, I never heard of this one. So,
it must be one of those 90s foods because I haven't seen anyone make it recently, but I also haven't been to many birthday parties. Oh, I might be going to a birthday party tomorrow, and it's for one of it's for an older person. So maybe I should ask if we can make dirt cake and see what people think. Because this family, I don't think has ever heard of dirt cake. So I'm gonna come up with like gummy worms and stuff, and they're gonna be like, "What the heck? Who is this girl?" Um, but yeah, I think I want to do that now.
good dirt cake and put a flower in there.
Yeah, that's cute. Edible flower.
So OD came back and says, I know that apple pies and pecans and walnuts are popular in the US. Do you like them?
Mm,
Um,
pecan
uh,
pie.
not really big fan of walnuts, pecans. Okay. Yeah, but walnuts, not so much. I mean, they're not bad. I just wouldn't go out of my way to eat them. So how about you?
I like pecan pie. The pecan pie is okay. I'm allergic to walnuts, so I can't have that anyway. But an apple pie is okay. I don't really like fruit pies. I'm more of like a chocolate person.
Oh, same. Yeah, same. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, whenever someone has a pie, I usually kind of get like, I'm apple pies or cherry pies. I usually get turned off almost immediately. It's almost like whenever you get like donuts, like people, like if I was at the office or something and someone said they're going to go get donuts, I said, make sure you get donuts with holes in them because I hate donuts with cherry, with cream or any of that other stuff. I just want regular donuts with holes in them. I don't want any fillings whatsoever. So,
That's like at work the other day. They had a bunch of like those like mini pies from the grocery store, like kind of like they almost look like those McDonald's ones that had like the filling inside. And I was like, "Oh, I've never had these." And the one of my coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, like the apple ones are really good, or like the cherry, but not the chocolate." And I'm like, "Okay." And then took the chocolate one because I'm just like, yeah, like I don't like fruit pies. And the chocolate one was really good, but I got and then I tried like a strawberry Pop-tart and it wasn't good, but the maple brown sugar one was okay. So
oh,
yeah.
I have to. When it comes to Pop Tarts, actually, I love cherry Pop Tart. I do like the vegetable when it comes to Pop Tarts, provided it has frosting on it. The frosted. I used to binge out on those a lot, but I do agree with you. I actually like the chocolate Pop Tarts a lot more. So
Mhm.
I think the reason I like the cherry Pop Tarts and those strawberries because it's minimal. It's not a lot of it's like it's a thin layer of strawberry. It's not like eating a big glob of it. I think it's the glob that kind of turns me off. So
Yeah, it's very like syrupy.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly. So
no, we don't like them.
so
Apple pie is okay. I feel like apple pie is a little bit better because it's got like more spices and stuff in it. But like cherry pie, no, thank you.
oh yeah. Yeah, the Norbo 11 says apple pies are popular pretty much everywhere. The I will say one time when I was like third or fourth grade, there was a McDonald's up from the school that I used to go to, and they decided to treat everyone to McDonald's lunch for a day, and so
Mm.
all the kids were excited. And if I'm repeating the story, forgive me. So I'm not sure if I said this before or not, but basically, they said they just decided to not get everyone French fries and instead get them apple pies.
Oh, apple pies.
And I was like, they said because everyone likes apple pies. I said, I was thinking to myself, no, I don't. I like the French fries better. And they wouldn't get the French fries. I ended up getting an apple pie, and I wouldn't eat it because I hate apple pie. Or back then, I hated them. Back
Yeah.
I can nowadays I'm like so. I really don't care for them. But back then, I was like, I would absolutely not eat an apple pie. So I did not eat my apple pie when I got it. I was so disappointed.
I'd be so mad too. I'd be like, I want the fries. Give me the fries. I paid for the sponge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the rest of the McDonald's food I like, but it was like, yeah, I don't like the apple pies. So, but yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. And oh, Alejandro, Jamie, I left a little heart too. So thank you very much for the heart. So, Alrighty. So anything else we'd like to before we wrap everything up?
Um, no, we'll have to get into Breaking Bad next week.
Yes, yes, we'll get to that eventually. I'm sure.
Mhm.
And so I don't want to get too much into it, but you have seen, is it all? There's 5 seasons, right? You said five. I know I've seen all of them, and the reason
Yeah.
I'm asking if there's five is because before we went live, I got my DVDs out. I can't show them because I don't have a camera, but it says season one, season two, season three, season four, season five, and for some reason I have another one that says the final season, and I don't know why. So I didn't have time to put it in there or look at them, but I'm wondering if maybe the final season is maybe the fifth season, just labeled differently. Maybe I bought two of the same or something. So, but
I thought there were 5 seasons. Maybe there
eh,
are 6.
no, well, actually, before you here, hold on a second. Before we went live, I actually double checked, and since you had watched it, I thought I'd ask you. Even IMDb agrees with you, so it does say only 5 seasons.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look into my DVDs,
Oh,
and I'm
okay.
not going to do it here, but I will open up the DVDs before we actually do it. And I'll find out why there's one set that says final season, the others are labeled 1 through 5. It's kind of weird.
So you
So
probably bought the same thing. It's just
I,
labeled different.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So, the and the other thing is El Camino. You have watched El Camino, right? Or have you not?
I have not yet. I'm trying to find time to watch it.
Okay. Okay. So you watched the entire all 5 seasons of Breaking Bad, but not that, and you've not watched Better Call Saul at all. Is
No,
that
because I
correct?
just finished Breaking Bad like 2 weeks ago. I've been
Okay.
watching it the past like 3 months.
Okay. I'm just curious. I don't want to get too much into this, but overall, did you like the show?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. There were some points that I kind of was like, okay, is it gonna like when are we gonna find this out? But yeah, overall I think it was a good show.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was overall a pretty good show.
Great show.
Yeah, I went into it with not knowing what it was about at all. So
Okay.
I purposely did not read any reviews, and I'd heard people mention it, so I didn't know what it was about. So it was one of those shows I went completely blind, and I enjoyed it from beginning to end. So OD left a couple more comments. Says OD says nice. And Odie also said, when will the next conversation with Katie be? Next week, next Saturday. So, all right. All right. It looks like you have a fan now. So,
Oh, thanks. Fans are good.
so alrighty. So, yeah, next week we'll have a show. And don't forget, if you want to support our show, you can always click on the link for NordVPN. That helps us out. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.